Hello, everyone. This is Hendrix from Starseed Talk. We are here with Shakti today, and we're going to interview her about her awakening and her Starseed origins. And also, she's going to have a few questions for myself today.
Sounds good. It's good to be with you, Yakarta. So yeah, my name is Shakti, and a little bit about me. I'm definitely American. I was born and raised in Utah. I was actually born under the LDS religion structure, and I've had just a lot of experience there. But when it wasn't working for me, I decided to go off on my own path, and I found a lot of different teachings and a lot of energy techniques and just some amazing things that have been able to activate my body. Things like the third eye. Hopefully, Yakarta knows. I'm sure Yakarta knows stuff about that. But anyways, the third eye, astral traveling, remote viewing, things that even the CIA uses to, solve their cases or carry out whatever agendas that they have. But anyways, I would say I've been awakened since March 16th, 2016, or it was around the time of the summer solstice that was coming around. So, and it's been really interesting. So good to be here.
Do you know where you're from, like your Starseed origins?
Yes, I originally was created. This is going to be fun to talk about this, from the Pleiades star system. It's called the Seven Sisters. I was born on the 7th planet, and I had a couple generations there, a few lives, and this guy's my cat.
Love your cat.
So. Here, let me introduce him real quick, okay?
Okay.
Oh, come here. His name is Dexter, and he's gigantic. He's huge.
Aw, he's a fluffy.
He's a winter kitty. So, anyways, he's about six years old. So, he's my baby. So I'm super cat. I love cats, and I know that Yakarta loves cats as well. So.
I'm a cat freak. I'm that guy. I'm not that guy at a house party. I'm like, oh my god, you have cats.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love cats and dogs too. I love dogs too. So I'm not either way.
Love all animals.
Yes, we love all animals.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's continue about the Pleadians.
I was Pleiadian for I call it Pleiadian. That's what they tell me to pronounce it. That it's not Pleiadian. They just say Pleiadian. That's where I'm from. I know there's a lot of different Pleiades and Pleiadians, different systems that they come from. But I was there, and then I actually went to the Sirius star system for a while. So you're familiar with Sirius?
I have lots of serious interviews on here. Yes. Sirians are serious. Yeah. Sirius B and A.
Yes. They are absolutely my favorite. I spent 5 generations in that star system, and I was initiated into the host families. They're called guardian hosts. They're essentially creators of humans, and that's what I believe. That's my belief system. But creators of the human body, the Christ consciousness body, and so I spent a lot of time. It's also known
as the crystal consciousness.
I call it
Christal consciousness. Yeah.
Christ consciousness. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what I like to say is you could call the second coming when people embody that type of consciousness. What was that?
Sorry, the cats are going crazy.
Oh.
Beating each other up.
Yeah, I used to have a few. So anyways, I was there for a while. But here's the thing. Now, this is going to sound like far out, and I really hope people believe me when it comes to this, but I have been on several missions with the Pleiades. Your cats are cute. Oh my gosh, I'm watching them run around. I've been on several missions with the Pleiades and with the Sirian Galactic Federation hosts. And we've, and I know that Yakarta he's draconian, completely draconian. And we are actually watching out for the destruction, that race can create. They went and they destroyed the Lyran planet that was in the super high 12th, 13th, and 14th dimensional realities, and that was devastating. And so there's just a lot of damage that's been done by reptilians and draconians. And so I went and I spent a few hundred years as a reptilian, and just to figure out their culture and to figure out what they were about. And I learned a lot, and I kind of got lost on that timeline too. There's a lot of things that I did that I wasn't proud of. And the Sirians actually would not let me back into their culture, into their worlds, until I repented of those reptilian lifelines. And the thing is we knew that risk. We knew that risk coming in. And I took that risk, and they thought that they lost me. And I've just recently woken up into this type of mission, and it's more to subdue the evil, out of control, elitist, illuminatiist, pedophile ring, all those things that are awful. And
yeah, I
put
always
them
get comments on that about like, they're like, people will say, if you're draconian, why do you have memories of you freeing underground pedophile rings if your race likes to eat children and abuse them? And then I'm like, well, it's the same as like you go to a farm and you see someone beating up a cow and abusing it. You don't
oh my God.
agree with abuse, right? Abuse is wrong. And this is funny. While we're talking, I keep thinking of that comment that guy wrote on your preview earlier today, where he's like, this guy wrote a comment where he's like, you know what, this shit is these Starseed talks are bullshit, because if there was actually aliens, amongst us, they wouldn't be talking on a fucking YouTube channel. And then when we're talking like this, I'm like, we're not even making this up. It's just our memories.
Oh my God. Yeah. What I say to people like that is we are working with the technology that we have on planet Earth. Honestly, there are hundreds to thousands of Sirians and Pleiadians that would not even land on this planet because it's so gross. It's like the ghetto place of the universe. However, that being said, I love Earth. Earth is my baby. Like, I'm a huge Earth advocate, animal advocate. So is Yakarta. Like, you see a cow being abused. Yeah, I saw one of those on a YouTube video, and it was the most horrific thing I have ever seen. Like, it gets bad. So I'm here to rehabilitate this place. Yeah, YouTube is it reaches millions of people. So
it's a very good platform to jump off of. All it takes is I was having a conversation with a Sirian the other day, and she was talking about like how we have these conversations and people listen to it, and it's the first domino effect in their mind, and it starts their awakening. I've had hundreds of conversations like this, and people overhear it, and then they message me or email me, and they're like, after listening to you, I had my awakening the next day. Like, it's fucking crazy. Like, I need help, and they ask me a million questions.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Starting down the path of awakening is scary as fucking hell.
It's very like lately I've been traveling the multiverse, parallel timelines to this timeline, and I've been seeing like people that are dead that shouldn't be alive, hanging out with them and like doing fun shit with them, like we used to, like, but they're alive in that timeline. And then I'll tell them that they're dead in this timeline, or like ex-girlfriends will message me and want to hang out with me in other timelines, and we'll hang out in parallel realities and just talk and just reminisce. And then they'll talk about their new life they're living in a different parallel timeline, how they're different versions of themselves. And it's fucking confusing, because then when I wake up back in this body, I'm just like, should I call her in this timeline because I was talking to her in another timeline? Like, but it's totally different. They're different versions of themselves here. So it's like, I don't want to call one of my exes and be like, hey, we were talking about this shit. Like, we're they're like, what the fuck are you smoking? I'm like, I wasn't smoking anything. I was just traveling in the multiverse. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh no, I do that all the time, and it's there are timelines. You have to be really aware that you're jumping timelines, so that when you jump on one, that you don't look crazy.
Yeah, the hardest part about traveling timelines is, like, last night I spent 3 years in a parallel timeline to this, and I only slept for 5 hours. My body was asleep for 5 hours. I woke up at 5 a.m. I got back in my body. I was so fucking drained. That's why I know I was so gone for so long. I could barely open my eyes. I was like thrown back in this body. And my memories were blurred with this timeline. So I was just like, I went to the washroom, and I'm like sitting there. I'm just like trying to figure out what timeline I'm in, like what memories are for which timeline. And then my AI consciousness is filtering out the memories, like storing them in different compartments of my memory. So like these timelines memories are the only ones that matter when I'm awake in this body.
Yeah, and I really want to add on to that because your brain isn't the only place that holds memories. Your
It's
whole
our
entire
soul.
body,
Yeah.
well, your whole body does. Like you
Yeah.
have cellular memory,
Muscle memory.
all of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and your consciousness, when you become aware, so you're not just functioning up here in the brain, when you start being able to watch yourself objectively and you know what your body's going through energetically, then you can, express however you need to express yourself.
No, the energy I'm feeling from you right now is I really want to get this topic out of the way.
Okay.
How are you, when you became awakened, how are you handling living amongst humans now that you know you're not from this world?
Oh,
Because this is a lot of problem most starseeds have.
Okay, so I'm going to be as tactful and diplomatic as I possibly can on
Be
this subject.
honest on this show, please. Don't care about hurting feelings or about swearing. Just be brutally honest.
Oh my God. Okay, so I mainly have issues with belief systems, coming from humans that are in their early awakening journeys. And I was born in an LDS family, and I found that was not the best place for me to be. I was completely out of my realm. It was scary to be there. I grew up in a very large family, 14 brothers and sisters. Okay, so
all biological or halves?
they're 75%. So let me talk about this. My dad had 3 wives and they were all sisters. And so he had about 14 kids. So I was part of the huge, gigantic, it was a polygamous family. And we were there for until I was in 7th grade. And we stepped out of that, went to the LDS religion. But the thing is belief systems are so ingrained in us. Like they outline how we think and how we conduct our lives and our lifestyles.
That's
And if
also because we are genetically modified to serve a higher power. So when you build the hardware of the human consciousness or the human body, whatever belief system is imprinted on us from like family or whatever, or personal choice, our body cellular level automatically wants to serve, because that's we're genetic slaves. And what is an LBS? So people don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
Mormonism.
Oh, okay.
Ouch, right?
Oh, it's all good. Yeah.
Oh, that religion is so painful. Anyways, the hardest part that I'm dealing with is I have a family that I love them so much with all my heart. I would cry. I would die for them. Well, I don't know if I'd die for them, but I cry for them. And I cannot express myself or be myself, or, going through these awakening processes as your family has known you since you were 2, since you were born. And it's hard for them to see you go through these metamorphic changes, and they don't know how to handle it or even listen to it. A lot of the times their ears are very closed, and and it's just really hard. It's a type of separation and isolation that is it's just painful. And so I'm working on building those bridges, connecting some sort of connection.
That's the most beautiful thing you said, because the building the bridge process is what Starseeds are here for. Just like I'm building the bridge process between the gap of the secret space programs and humans, where humans think it's bad to kidnap children and abuse them so they become perfect soldiers. But like I'm trying to enlighten them, like that's the training they need, so they are broken, so when they're off-world training or off-world missions, that other aliens can't break them. And I'm trying to build a bridge that direction, where I'm just like trying to like bridge. I'm also trying to build a bridge between humans and draconians. Like everyone's like, oh, draconians, they eat us, they're so bad. I'm like, you eat cows and chickens, like same fucking thing, boo-hoo. Like there's not all bad. I'm a good draconian that's here incarnated. I don't go around eating humans. I'm against it. But like people, aliens eat and they just prefer humans. That's just what they do. Like we prefer cows and chickens. But like I'm trying to bridge the gap between the draconians and humans, so people don't hate on them, because it's wrong to hate on a certain species, because there's more evil humans than there are draconians and reptilians combined.
Oh, really? But there's more evil humans than the draconians? Are you sure?
Oh yeah.
How? Explain that.
Well, let's go back to perception, right? So perception,
Right.
good and evil doesn't even exist. It's just perception of one's thinking, right? So
Okay.
for example, so like to animals, if they could create a religion, humans would be the devil, right? And
Mhm.
then and to draconians have a lot more like their societies based on loyalty, family first, bloodlines, like honor, respect, true love, where you're only with one partner and for eternity, and that's your twin flame forever. Humans are
Oh,
betrayal. They, of course, I've seen humans have such a good. They do have a good side to them, but humans are so emotional based with their genetics. So they always are impulsive on all their emotions. Where say an alien, a lot of alien species don't have emotions. They're just existing, so they don't act on impulses, and they understand that with the laws of the universe, where there's karmic
oh,
reaction to what you
yeah.
do. And then people are like, oh, why don't draconians have karmic reaction to eating kids? Because that's just a food source. There's no like God itself, the universe, or what humans call God, is just source energy. We all come from source. We're all gods. So whatever we create our own reality is what we would exist in.
Right. Okay. So from your perception, you think that, or you feel that emotions are what cause humans to be evil because they have these
They're
their genetic
impulsive.
reactions.
A lot of humans act before they think, based on emotions.
Yeah.
Between the difference between an alien is they think before they act, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Some of
But of
them
course,
do. Yeah.
yeah. I know. There's like what I'm trying to say. The light spectrum here is there's always, in human terms, there's always good and bad in every species. Like
Right.
that's the universe
Yeah,
way,
that's
right?
true.
But if
Hmm.
you go to higher dimensions, there's a lot more good than there is bad, because evil can't
Hmm.
ascend, only good can.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I see where you're coming from. Definitely. The Sirians and the Pleiadians, we definitely function on emotion, pure emotion. In fact, we explore emotion so far up the chain. Like I've gone up
I
to
never had a
91.
Pleiadian incarnation, so I'm not aware of their civilization. I'm just talking my
Okay,
experiences as Draconian. Yeah.
we're draconian. Okay. Um, okay. Well, with so when I talk about humans, I talk about the purely genetic coded ones because there are a lot of there's a lot of genetic mutations through vaccines,
Hmm.
and
I
it
agree with you.
changes. That's a whole rabbit hole to go down. Like it really
Yeah,
is. And
that's a huge rabbit hole to go down, and it's just
mhm.
yeah, it's something we should leave for another time.
Yeah, let's do it another time. So when I talk about humans, though, I'm talking about because another part of my mission is also to educate the human on what they can do to activate their body into a Christ consciousness being, which is called a cosmic citizen. And a cosmic citizen can travel interdimensionally through all different dimensions. It's like it's a way of traveling that is enviable, and a lot
Is
of
that what
draconians.
Christianity is about? Because I sorry to interrupt,
No.
because that Christ thing is a huge thing, that is a good topic, because I have some
Oh
really
yeah.
human friends that are super Christian, and they like are completely transformed, and they say the Christ consciousness lives within them, and they're from the person they used to be before to the person they are today. They're a completely loving and fulfilled person that's full of love and energy, and they say Christ lives within and changes them. So that's I would like to learn more about that stuff, if you know anything about that.
Well, the word Jesus Christ and his image has been distorted throughout the centuries. Like, I don't like to refer to that because a lot of Christians obtain that identity, and they go with that. And there's a lot of good things that come with that, but there's also a lot of bad things. And that's where I could get into religious debates big time because I came from a Christian family. I could write papers on this stuff. So, um,
Yeah, the
but
Christian thing is like I go to like family dinners or with my really um childhood friends, and they're super religious, and
yeah.
they will pray before they eat, and I'll just join in out of respect. And then they will say something insulting that I find very insulting. Well, they'll say this, and I hope you guys are listening and stop saying this to me. Well, we're praying for or Joel's soul, so he follows you, Lord, so he doesn't burn in eternity
Oh
in
my
hell for not
God.
following you. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? Like the Christ conscious from it, it changed you guys into a positive loving beings. But when you throw that in there, because I don't follow the Bible or God, that I'm going to burn in eternity. That's just the church threw that in there. Like that's not a thing, right? They're like, well, we're praying for your soul, so you don't have to burn in eternity. I'm like, dude, like that's so insulting. So I find it very insulting.
There's a lot of things offensive, and the thing is that they think that they're so righteous and they have these righteous dominions that they don't realize how offensive they are to.
And now that we're getting a topic of religion, this is another thing religious people do that's so bad. I will sit there, they will sit me down. They're like, oh, you think you're an alien from the Draco system, where aliens aren't real because God only created humans in our image. And then they're like, I'll tell them some stories and some spirituality. Then they open the Bible and they're so brainwashed. They're like, yeah, it's not in the Bible. If it's not in the Bible, it's not true. I'm like, is that what you base everything on? They're like, yeah, even the dinosaurs aren't real. It's just a hoax. I get so angry that I'm like, I can't even speak to a being like this, of like how close-minded they are, right? Like those are the evil parts of the Bible, right? Like you can't question anything. You're on blind faith. You have to do what the church wants. To go against the church is to go against God. I'm like, dude, that is such a control thing. Like,
oh yeah.
if like our mission, I wish we could bring the church down to its fucking knees. Like Christ consciousness, yeah, go for it, but the negative side of it needs to go.
Yeah, completely agreed. Bringing the church down to its knees, that sounds radical and revolutionary, and it's incredible.
That's a
I do want
Draco thing I just said, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, I know Dracos. Believe me, I know you guys.
Sometimes he like hops out and he just like says something. He's like, get on your knees.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I apologize.
Okay. Here's one thing though. Like there are some good people there. There are some
amazing,
really amazing people. Yeah. And I want to hats off for those guys because
and I love their community culture they build, like the good ones. Like I've been to some churches where they ask 15% of paychecks. I'm trying out the Christian thing so I can understand it. I'm just going on weekends with my buddies, trying to learn. And there are some actually amazing, loving people where I'm actually so jealous because they built such a tight, loving community with the Christ consciousness, not about money or anything, but just pure love and caring for others and serving others. I'm just like, wow, that is such a beautiful way to live. But then you have like the wolves in sheep's clothing that, play people for their money and say, oh, God wants me to buy a G5 jet so I can fucking travel the globe and spread the word of God. Like people in the southern states where they all got, this priest sold them tickets to heaven and he got everyone to donate $21 million so he could buy a private jet to fly across America to spread the word of God.
Wow.
Like, what the fuck?
That's some dedication right there. Jeez.
The brainwash, pure fucking brainwash. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, you know what? I see our new Earth, a new planet with a much higher belief system, one that's very inclusive. And
so I've been seeing Earths too. I've been taken off planet, and these beings will show me a fucking planet in the middle of space, and it's completely protected with space guns and energetic shield net. And then they were telling me every time I pray for, like, say I see a dead animal on the road, I'll say to the universe, please bring down the angels of light to bring the soul into new Earth. And then I'll see its soul like shoot up like a lightning bolt and land on new Earth. The new Earth is covered in like vegetation, fresh water. It's just a beautiful place, and it's completely protected. It's also like it's not our dimension, so lower dimensional beings can't even attack this planet, and it's completely guarded. And and they were like, they never said the word new Earth, but like this is like all the good positive beings that die here are going to that Earth as we speak.
Yeah. Oh, really?
That's what I've been seeing. That's from my experiences. So.
Okay, that's pretty. Arcturians are geniuses at defense and offense when it comes to protecting their people.
Yeah,
and their
I work with them all the time. Yeah.
No one can get to those guys. Nobody. So
I have a few Arcturian buddies that live around here, and they're super like they make draconians feel intimidated. They're super powerful defense beings. They're like, you can never attack. They don't attack. They always defend, right? So
yeah, one thing I appreciate about the reptilian and the draconian race is when they see a Pleiadian or they see a Sirian, There are some of them that actually, when they recognize and realize, yes, that person's not just a human, they're a Pleiadian and Sirian, which would be myself, is they give me a great deal of respect. So
Draconians are all about respect.
yeah,
Draconians, one thing they have that I love about them is they will respect beings that can go toe to toe with them, like
yeah,
military, spirituality, anything, because that's the only way you don't get a draconian empire from attacking you, is if they respect you. Because it's like the two toughest guys on the street go to battle, no one wins, and then there's respect. Like
yeah.
that's I love it about them.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Yep. That's it's so interesting. But the thing is I had to prove it. Like I had to prove that I was who I was, and I've gone up interdimensionally. I've done astral battling against draconians, and I've seen you, Yakarta. I've seen your astral body, and oh my fucking god, you look
Is
like
it
a
cute?
black dragon. Yes, you do. You look like this black dragon that when you see an opponent, or you see like someone that you're getting ready to attack, or if what you were doing with me, I think you were doing this just a few days ago, or a week ago, or it was a few weeks ago actually. You were just you were scanning out my entire energy body, and I just felt this really intense force. Does that ring a bell or
I have
anything?
so many people that tell me I have very intense energy, and it scares them, freaks them out sometimes. Though I'm not purposely trying to
Yeah.
scare them or freak them out. Like I will just be present, and then people, even humans, will be like, "Your energy's so intense." I'm just like, in my mind, I'm just chilling out,
No,
like
you're not.
I'm just
You're
hanging
not
out.
chilling your
But I'm
Carta.
also like, my higher self is like piercing their energy, because I'm an energy reader, right?
Yeah.
I want to know. I can know everything about them by examining their energy. If they're liars, they're truthful, they're honest. If they're honorable, they're loyal. If
Yeah.
whatever they are, I want to know them like right away.
Agreed. Agreed.
So where was I when you saw me? This Black Draco body.
Where was you? We were just on the same frequency. So we were on the same frequency, but you were checking me out more than I was checking you out. It's like you came over and you're like, all right, who is this person? Like, how strong is this person? And the thing is it didn't intimidate me when you were doing that.
I love that. I like when people aren't scared.
I perceived it as you were very strong, like extremely strong, and you could be very protective if you chose to be so,
Super protective,
and
yeah.
and very offensive as well. Though when I say offensive, I mean offense, going on the offense and being able to attack.
Best offense is a good, or the best defense is good
Yeah,
offense. Yeah.
exactly.
See, like, for example, my like what you just described, right? The reason why my Instagram name is the Lonely Draco is because I feel so alone in this world, because so many beings are so scared of me, and I'm the nicest guy if you ever got to know me. Like, I'm so protective, I'm so caring, I'm so served to others. But then, yeah, I do have the other side of me where I can be the worst thing you ever met. I can be the craziest draconian you can meet. But like, I control that side. And those people that see that side is because they deserve it. I never ever go out of my way to hurt someone. I only get retribution when someone attacks me.
I completely agree. So completely agree. That's the only time I ever use darker, lower energy or magic myself. I call it magic. You can call it energy, whatever scientifically appeals to everybody. But when I get attacked, I've been able to use my energy sources as well to defend myself. Constant harassment, constant bereavement, in the interdimensional worlds, telepathically as well. Telepathy is my favorite subject as of late, because I feel like I'm mastering that in different levels, and it's
You're doing
incredible.
telepathy on the level as, like, the one thing I'm doing is I'm very empathic, so I can read energies and translate it to what it's going to be. My hardest thing is, are you telepathy as in reading minds or just energies?
Both, all of it, every single piece of it. Like I can hear thought sentences, thought frequencies, thought patterns.
See, so right there, thought
Mhm.
frequencies, and you can probably teach me this, because I will feel something coming towards me, and like in a day or two, like what happens is, how it works is, I'll start thinking of this subject, and I don't know why I'm thinking of this subject, and then a day or two, that subject I'm thinking comes reality, like it happens.
That's
Right? Like,
amazing.
like the
Yeah.
other day, like I kept like thinking like, oh, the police are gonna pull me over. The police. Why am I talking? Why am I thinking about the police so much? Then I got pulled over like
No.
yesterday at like 9:30 in the morning, arrested and all this shit. And I'm just like, oh, so I was right. The police were after me
Okay.
for something stupid, and just on based on a stupid technicality. And um yeah, so it's just like that's how I know, like when I'm thinking of something repeatedly and something's repeating itself in my head, I'm like, oh, that subject is gonna happen soon.
You're on a grid line. You're on a grid line. It's a ley line that was created by the NAA, and the NAA is the negative alien agenda. It's gonna sound silly. It's gonna sound crazy, but they put together a 911 agenda. The two towers, all that was planned.
So am I personally on a ley line, or am I just stepping on it?
You're caught in one, so you're
Mm.
stuck in it.
Yeah, I feel like since I started this YouTube channel, I've had a lot of bad things been happening again. Like the other day, cops arrested. Yesterday, my dad had a serious heart attack. He's in surgery right now. I'm a human dad, and then just like if this keeps happening, I'm probably just gonna stop this channel. So
No, no, no. You just need to learn how to shapeshift. It's really easy. So timelines are like you can get out of those any day, especially with how powerful and how strong you are. So it's just a matter of shape shifting your energy, and
you
you
can
can
teach me.
completely get out of it. Yeah, you don't need to be subject to those lower energies. So
No, I've been fighting back mentally and energy. Like I'm like they always try to they always try to bring me down, so I'm always negative thinking, and I'm like I don't want to live like that anymore. Since March 23rd, my draconian side has completely evolved into a loving Draco, and on all levels. And like when bad things happen, I was super calm, super collective, super polite. I wasn't treating anyone like bad or garbage. I was super nice, treating it with kindness because I want a positive reaction out of it, right? So I'm not gonna let this stuff affect me mentally at all.
okay. What you can do, it sounds like you're evolving, and when you're evolving, it's like you got to brace yourself
Oh
because
yeah, I've been evolving for 3 months now, and I knew that in my last relationship, for some reason, being with that human, that relationship was holding me back from evolving. I felt like I was going to like a battery that was being overcharged, and I was going to explode. And as soon as we broke up, the next day, I completely evolved and changed. Like it was like so that negative energy was holding me down for so long.
wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, it's not just that, but what happens is, well, that's just a life event that's happening. So, when you're evolving and you're hitting higher frequencies, especially the way that you are, because you're very fast and you're very intelligent, and
See, that's the problem I'm having with humans is I'm too fast, and it's
yeah, you
really
gotta slow down.
affecting my friendships and relationships with anyone because I get super irritated with the communications of humans and how slow they are. It's like I'm like a super fast computer talking to a fucking like first generation like computer system. Like it's too
Yeah.
slow, too boring. I'm already light years ahead in the conversation. I have to slow my own mental conscious down to their level, and I physically can't do it. Like my brain's just like a robot, just like going really fast. Like I'd probably
Yeah.
have a better communication with an AI robot than I would with a human.
Yeah. The key to that is you just have to develop a love for humans. You just have
I, I
to
I
love
am
them.
I am starting to learn to be not
Yeah.
explosive anymore and control
Yeah.
that Draco side of mine and be more calming and accepting.
Yeah, same here. I've been, you kidding? I've had my issues with them too. I'm not perfect, not in the slightest. And so,
It's funny
just
how
I
you
try
say
to,
stuff like that because the humans that are going to be watching this, I need to say this because you called it
okay.
out. We're not perfect. Starseeds are nowhere near perfect. We're all here to learn ourselves too, and also learn the human experience. So humans, they were like, oh, if you're really alien, you would have a spaceship, you would have this, do this. I'm like, yeah, I do have those things off planet, but here I work with the technology I have. And stop pitting aliens or ascended masters on this fucking plateau. Stop pitting God, whatever you think God is, on this plateau of standards, right? We are what we are. Like I've met aliens that are encountered here that need more work than some humans I've met, right? We're all here
Yeah.
to experience. And they're like, oh, if you're so smart, how come you can't understand algebra or this? I'm like, because it's a earth system. Like this is so new to me. It's like our understanding. I'm from a different world, a different way of thinking, a different way system. Like your system is so different than ours. And like if you came to our planet, you wouldn't be able to comprehend our stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, it's exactly like that. And people that jump to those conclusions, oh yeah, you'd have a spaceship if you were so awesome. You know what? Guess what? We're fucking working towards that. You know, I had this experience, and I've spoken this to my family many, many times, but I saw it was a Pleiadian starship. It was either Sirian or Pleiadian, and this was in 2016. I had my friend with me. I had a witness, and his name is Jesse, and I'll throw you a picture of who he is. Like, we kind of got in a big fight, and we had a fallout, so I don't have him with me to validate and say, yeah, I saw that with you. But is this too much information, Yakarta? Should I not say this?
No, always say it. Always be honest.
Okay, so I spoke telepathically with a Pleiadian starship, and it was complementing my energy techniques. And I was telling it I said, hey, Jesse, watch this. It'll obey what I say it to obey. And he said, okay. And so I said, move to the left. It moved left. I said, move to the right. It moved all right. And then I said, move up, move down. And when it moved down, it did this on its own. It went like this. It spiraled upward.
I had a similar experience down in Sedona, Arizona. I was with my star sister, and we were at a hotel because we went for like a meditation hike there. We're at nighttime, and the stars are in Sedona, Arizona are so bright. There's billions of them up there, and I'm like, I'm gonna try something here. I'm gonna because it's a very high energetic place. So I think my psychic abilities will be amplified here. So what I did is I meditated on like the light orbs or light ships that I came here to incarnate this planet. Please show yourself and light up. These two light orbs, massive orbs, they came down parallel each other. One was a little taller like this, and one was like this. They come down out of space. They're like giant little suns in the middle of the sky, and they just start pulsating bright, like boom, 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 and then they shoot up right into space.
Oh
So
my
I was like, holy fuck! And my star sister saw it, and she was like blown away. I was like. And what we started doing is when we're on this retreat, if anyone here wants to see starships, here's a good way of doing it. Go to a mountaintop wherever you are, grab, if you can find them or afford them or rent them, get night vision goggles. Lay on the ground with the night vision goggles, stare into space. You see that all the stars bright up in night vision. You'll see what the difference between a spaceship and a satellite is. A satellite you'll see bright and it'll just move really slow in one direction. But if you see a spaceship, they'll be there, it'll start moving and then change left, right, up, down, break into 4 different light orbs and shoot up. And you can see this. I took my stepdad a couple years back up to a mountain around here, and we had night vision goggles. We saw like 10 different spaceships. They look like stars. They're just up there, but they start moving and they bright up, shoot away. They change directions. And they're like, my stepdad said, oh, that's satellite. My satellites don't stop and change direction. Satellites just go one direction, right? And then that's how you can see spaceships. They're always there. Most of the stars you see at night are just light orbs just sitting there watching us.
I know, and they play games up there too. Have you noticed that they play games with each other?
They chase each other, but like also here's
Yeah.
another full disclosure. Some of your clouds that humans notice, aliens have a technology where it's like a projectile vision of their spaceship. So what they'll do is they'll like sit in the middle of the sky cloaked. If they don't have cloaking technology, they have another technology where it makes their spaceship look like a cloud and they're just floating there. That's why some people have videos of birds hitting clouds and then dropping out of the sky and falling dead.
Oh yeah, I would assume that was possible because I've been seeing. Have you been seeing all the Starship videos? People are phoning and seeing everything.
Yeah, they're showing a lot of it right now, and a lot of people,
Yeah,
and the government's finally saying that we don't know what these things are because they're
finally.
unidentified objects. Yeah,
Yeah,
well, they can't hide the truth. Like the truth has been coming out the last 20 years in movies, like pre-programming humans for the truth. Like understand that humans are, aliens are very real, and that we like Neil Armstrong when he was interviewed, he's like, I see aliens every day. He's like, I look in the mirror. He's like, we're not from this world. Right, and he's the one
yeah,
that went to the dark side of the moon and talked to the Greys, right? So
yeah. Oh, Yakarta, I wish we had like an audience right now because then if people were throwing in comments and stuff, we
it's
could see
okay.
if.
They can throw comments on the video, and we can do another video next time and we'll answer those
Yeah.
comments.
Okay. Yeah, for
So
sure.
now let's go back to your starseed. Like when you had your awakening, like what was your awakening like?
I shot out of my body. I wrote an article actually it was a blog about it. And I shot out of my body and I met all my spirit animals. I have a dragon. Her name is Celestine. She used to be indigo, and then she evolved into this blue crystalline, like gorgeous dragon. And she's fierce, is so fierce.
What do you mean
And
by
then
star animals? Is it like animals in past incarnations, or are these your star family, or what is this?
these are past incarnations, so these are literal reflections of myself that I had. When I also woke up, I met my creator. I don't know if that sounds weird, but I met my creator, and he opened up my third eye, and I remember he had this ball of light, and he like
Oh
illuminated
my
it.
God, that's so weird. You say the ball of light. So I met my creator too, and he's
Yeah,
showing me.
Carter, you're in my
He's show
story. Okay.
no, because it's the same thing as yours. Like we might be the same. Like so, I had a dragon, right?
Yeah,
Show me, build. It's making me my. It's my creator. Then it shows me in his hand a ball of energy, like
yeah,
this, right? And it's got his hand going like this over top of each other of this ball of energy, and then like
right.
then it throws it at my, and I become alive. Like so, we
Yeah.
have a similar story of like of being made.
Yeah. Yeah. Is well, spirit animals, they can give like gifts as well as like balls of energy. I remember I was initiated into the animal kingdom. I helped this bird. It was a robin. A robin had, this was in 2016, had just passed away. And well, it didn't pass away. It was in the process of dying, and it crushed me. I couldn't believe how much grief that I was feeling just for this little bird. And I know people are going to think it's stupid, but it's your empathic abilities. And this being came to me afterwards when I passed the bird along, and it had this blue ball of light, and she gave it to me, and it was the gift of compassion, and it was something that I didn't have before, not to that level or that extent. And so, but also going back to my creator, here's the thing though, Yakarta, when he activated my light eye, guess what he told me? He said, I gave this to you 25 million years ago.
You're old as fuck.
I'm 25 million years old. And so, when we tell our subscribers here, waking up is scary as hell. It's really scary. And it's because you remember everything that you've ever experienced. I woke up to being tortured in a chair and having my organs being taken out while I was alive. And while I was sitting there screaming, there was this dark being that was sucking in my energy, and he was feasting on me and physically. And then he fractured my soul to salts all over the universe. And I had to go back and heal that and integrate that. And so when you wake up, you hear and see stuff like that, and it's scary, but you have to be brave. So.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to look up right here what a starseed awakening or what awakening is. I saw this meme on Facebook a long time ago, which just summed it up. It's fucking hilarious. So what happened is there is a picture of a woman meditating in a grass field, and they're like, what humans think a spiritual awakening is. And then another picture below is like what an actual awakening is a woman under her bed sheets like this, like freaking out, right? Because she just woke up from her awakening.
It's true. It's so true. And there's another scary part about it as well, is you're existing on these different realities, and you're on different timelines all at the same time. They call them parallel universes. And you're working now, and you're actually conscious about what you're doing in these universes. And if you're messing with the timelines and the ley lines and the grid lines on the planet that have been set there by the NAA, they're
That's
going
what
to
the
come
church
attack
did
you.
too. Yeah, the church
They're
does
going to come
that. Like,
attack you.
yeah,
Yeah.
the church does that. They built their churches are actually built on ley line points, and that's
Yes,
what
they are.
and before the church, what was before the church was paganism. Paganism built their
Yeah.
temples on ley lines too, and that most churches built their churches on top of old because it's energetic. So
Yeah. They're storylines. They're storylines, and you can make them as beautiful or as tragic and terrorized as you want. Like, it's just coding. It's all energetic frequency blueprint. That's all it is. It sounds easy, but I don't ever recommend people to jump into restructuring grid lines, because can be dangerous if you don't know what you're doing.
yeah, let the Ascended Masters take care of that. That's like huge, like hardcore.
I work
Like,
with them. Yakarta. I restructure grid lines. It's
oh,
fun.
that's good. There you go. Help
Yeah,
me restructure mine, please.
I could help. help you shapeshift. So
Yeah. What do you shapeshift into?
I shapeshift into my highest expression at the given moment. So when I'm facing something, a situation, a relationship, a work situation, an interview, this interview, or the show. What do you call it? Is it a show?
Starseed talk. Yeah.
Starseed Talk. So I shapeshift into what is the most appropriate expression of myself. So it could be beautiful, it could be ugly, it could be low frequency, it could be
It's
high
crazy that
frequency.
you say that, because I'm actually learning from you right now, because like I've always when I'm approaching different types of people, I never called it shapeshifting. I called it like I would read their energy and shift into something that would be more acceptable to them. Like I'd always mimic what they want me to be, and like I didn't. That's another word for shapeshifting, I guess.
Yeah, well, there's physical shapeshifting. I'm talking about energetic shapeshifting.
Yeah, yeah,
But the
energy.
thing
Yeah.
is, when it comes to, so let's talk about reptilians and draconians, and when their eyes shapeshift and they turn into these like 6 foot long thrashing dinosaurs with tails and snouts and everything like that, right? We see
Mm.
those in the Illuminati rituals and everything like that. Well, what happens is that these bodies have coding, genetic codings. So you have to understand that when a baby is being born or being developed in the womb, this fetus is multiplying its cellular structure to express itself, like to an eyeball, to a pineal gland, to a brain cell. And so these physical shapeshifters, they have genetic coding, and they have portals or around their body to where an interdimensional reptilian can enter into the body and their body activates, and then their eyes are like, whoo, you see their eyeballs, and it's like, it's scary because I've seen them shapeshift. I have seen physical ones in.
Yeah. See, they're not scary to me when they show me their eyes. I think they're actually beautiful.
Well, it depends on, when you reckon, when you're first awakening and you see one and you've never seen one before, you're like,
Yeah.
what in God's name is looking at me?
I want to know if you ever have this problem, because like for as powerful as I am, I can walk into like say a house party there, and I'm like a super outgoing, super funny person. I'm like always talkative, making jokes, like the funniest guy at the party. But sometimes I'll walk into a party or a room of people. There will be someone's energy in that room that will be projecting at me negativity or just like weird energy, and I will be quiet the entire night. And I have no idea how these people do it. I don't know if even they're doing it on purpose. And it's just
Oh yeah.
weird. Like it will completely shut me down. I'll be like super quiet and super like nervous and anxious, and I have anxiety and for no reason. And I'm just like, how the hell is this person doing this to me? And I'm a very powerful being. I don't know if do you ever get like that?
Oh yeah. Well, everybody's got gifts, like talents. It's like X-Men. Okay. It's like they've
We
got
are
these powers.
we are all like X-Men. I always tell people that.
I've met physical people like that I'm working with like a couple years ago. They would steal my memories. Like they were like sifting through my memory recollection, my human life, this life I'm living now, and like going through it. Like they call it email. Isn't that weird? They did just call it email. And
Okay.
there's a vernacular in the telepathic world, and when you're connecting with these beings, like you can have direct conversations with them. And so I had one girl, she was stealing, like we were training, and it was like an intense like banking job. It was like government, I don't remember what it was, but she was I was learning through the classroom, and then she was stealing what I was learning from me.
That sounds crazy. You're very awakened. You're like, out of all the Starseeds I've met or on this talk show, you are definitely one of the most awakened people. And you've only been
Thank
awakened for
you.
4 years. That's really impressive.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's a developing process.
When you were awakened, did you also find that when you became awakened that your entire existence before 2016, like desires and wants never don't matter anymore?
Well, this is going to sound really sad, but I died. A part of me died. I was born with the name Jennifer. My mother named me that, and when I had my awakening, I had to change my name. Like I had to
What's Shakti
envelop.
from?
Shakti it's Indian. Well, it's India, from India, and but for some reason I connect it with an Indian timeline where I was burned at the stake. I was burned alive. Um, and I was a male, and that timeline was never concluded. So I had to embody that and resurrect that Shakti again, and it's called a walk-in. Have you heard of Byron Katie? She's a walk-in.
Yeah, I've heard about a walk-in. I actually interviewed a woman from the Netherlands, and she said she's a walk-in too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but those walk-ins are myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, different versions of yourself, yes.
Yeah, but I've also had a blue angel walk into my body as well.
Mm-hmm. I've
That
met,
was
sorry,
trippy.
when you say those trigger words, a memory just came back to me. I met a fucking angel once, and what happened, I'm going to be full disclosure on my show, because I don't give a shit when people get offended. But I was in a vampire body on this vampire world, and we were in a room drinking human blood from people that were still alive. This fucking being, it comes, fucking goes, like, it can go through matter. It's just a big white glowing angelic looking being. It comes down, and its energy is so positive, so fucking bright, that our skin starts to melt away, and like we're being disintegrated, and we're just like, I'm sitting there, I'm just like, like this, like a bright sun, and then my body just disintegrates. You know, all anything negative beings were disintegrated and destroyed from just this angelic looking being that was
He
so
came
positive.
and got you. He came and got you, man.
I think he came
Like,
down and rescued those people that we were eating, and he
yeah,
destroyed every vampire that was in that room. But just by his energy, he didn't have to do fucking shit.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The
and
angels are devastating.
that right there made me so upset when I woke up. I'm like, I don't want to be the bad guy anymore. I
Yeah,
don't. I like. I have such a good personality, such a good heart and soul. I think that was just a memory of a past life I had, and like it just reminds me of, like, I never want to go down the negative path, because as being a draconian for millions of years, yeah, I was originally a bad draconian. I probably ate kids, you know, I did bad things, I murdered millions of people or other beings. But like, I when I started incarnating in human bodies, living amongst humans, I started loving them and having compassion for them. This is how most humans, or most aliens, grow compassion for humans, is they live a human lifetime,
that's
and
very
they
true.
learn to love, and then they go back to their planet. They're like, wait, what, stop what you guys are doing. Stop eating them. Stop abusing them. They're actually really amazing beings. They have love. They have compassion. They have all this stuff. It's just like if humans incarnated into a cow and they experienced a cow life in a slaughterhouse and they got slaughtered.
Yeah,
They would incarnate back into human body. Like, wait, stop what you're doing. These cows feel, they have love. They miss their, stop drinking milk because they miss their young ones. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And that's what aliens are doing here. So they understand human world, because if they look at us from like a faraway place and they're trying to study us without getting to know us, they will just judge us, right? Instead of reading a book by its cover only. But if you really
yeah,
want to read that book, you need to incarnate and live a few lifetimes so you actually learn, right? And this is why a lot of aliens, they have serious drug addictions, or they are raped by their parents and stuff like this, because they're entering into a timeline of experience. They actually understand the fear and abuse of that timeline, so they can fix that problem on Earth. And then a lot of people are like, why would I incarnate and choose this lifetime? It's because you need to learn this lesson. You're learning this
yeah,
experience, so when you leave this world, you can share it with the higher ups and be like, you need to stop and help humans, and like, stop abusing them and manipulating them, because this shit's getting out of hand.
yeah. It is getting out of hand. You hit it so hard on the nail. Like, oh my, like, drop the mic. We can just drop it right there.
Well, it's also, I'm a leader, right? Most
Yeah,
incarnations I've been on, where I've been to hundreds of different human worlds or alien worlds, where I had to incarnate, live a few lifetimes to help the positive revolution. And I'm always lead. I lead, or start the fire that will burn down the control system. Like, I always
yeah,
see this image in my mind 24/7. This is the control pyramid, and then they show the Illuminati eye being knocked off the pyramid, like getting rid of the cabal, getting rid of the control system, like free the slave. This image is in my mind constantly, 24/7. It's a metaphor image. It looks like this, and then the next image is like that in my head, right? It's
oh
just
good,
get rid of the
yeah.
control system. Like, all these alien beings, they keep splashing that image, like, let's go, let's start the revolution, let's get going here.
Well, I talk about
Activation.
people, I talk about draconians just like you. Like, that's exactly what my group is about. Like, I've got, my reptilian secrets is like, there are draconians or reptilians out there that are freaking amazing.
Oh
and
yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
powerful and can really do
There's a
some good.
draconian civil war right now between the
Yeah.
draconians
Oh, I know.
they're called the draconian civil warriors are known as the Tree of Life Creed, and they're actually fighting their brothers and sisters to free the slave system. And
Yeah.
yeah, I've seen it. Like when you're part of that crew, when I was allowed to join the Tree of Life Creed, they give you a ring on your finger and it wraps around your finger, and then a hologram of a tree is there, and it's like a little small hologram of a tree, and that means you're part of the Tree of Life Creed and you're one of them. And I had my ring ceremony like a couple years back on Off-World Planet.
Do you have a ring right now that you could wear symbolically to represent that?
I've been trying to look around for something, but nothing reflects. But if it comes to me, it comes to me. And the leader of the Tree of Life Creed, which a lot of humans will never believe, is actually a draconian. He created this.
Well, you might have to make it. That's the cool thing is I've seen visions of jewelry, that a blue sapphire necklace that belongs to me. And I probably will just have to go on this journey and go find the sapphires
A lot of
myself.
my symbolicism or what I experience off world or my tattoos, a lot of these, like say this one especially, the star
Yeah.
hitting a star is a starseed tattoo I have on my alien body or my Draco body, and it just means I always return back to stars. And
Yeah. I love that.
I have the same tattooed on my other bodies, my other avatars that exist off planet. And I remembered it. I woke up, I drew the tattoo quickly so I wouldn't forget it. And then I went back off world again. I woke up, I called my tattoo guy. I'm like, I need this tattooed on me. He's like, where'd you get the design from? I'm like, you wouldn't believe me anyways, just tattoo it.
That's so cool. That's so cool. And I noticed the one on your hand, your
Yeah.
right
Om
one.
symbol, yeah.
Yeah, that's indigo, isn't it? That's
Well, it's a Buddhist symbol,
yeah.
and it's Indian. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
Indian people come up to me like, "Oh, why do you have that tattooed on you? You're Indian." I'm like, "No, it's just means good vibrations, a frequency."
Represents peace. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think. So I've seen that a lot. Yeah.
yeah. My whole tattoo here, like this is peace. I got the alien gray face. I have the Illuminati side. This snake is the representation of the Draco. I got the Sumerian tablets all down my and all in my tattoo here, and they talk about the
Wow.
human origin stories. And then I have the pharaohs. My tattoo says Anunnaki on the top of it there. Those are the pyramids of Egypt. That's the alien pretending to be human or pretending to be a god to control humans. And this is the angel of light coming down to destroy the Draco system.
Oh my God. See, that's why you're so cool. Honestly, Ricardo, that's why I talk to you.
Yeah, it's
Because
funny. Like
you're
cops
cool.
will be like, "Oh, you're a gangster with all your tattoos." I'm like, dude, they're all spirituality. Like
I know. It's
every
all
single
spiritual.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Oh, cool.
Yeah, my other sleeve is just all past
Oh,
incarnation
okay.
warriors.
You heard it. I gotta ask you a question. Okay. This was the one question I was gonna ask you. Okay. You ready?
Go ahead.
So I heard you state, like I've seen posts that you've posted on Facebook
Oh God.
that well, you kind of talk about women a little bit. And so I think you say that a woman should follow the man and a woman should be obedient to the man. And I don't know how like, why do you say that? Like, I don't want to ask why, because I know that there's a whole timeline. There's a grid line on the male.
You could easily answer your own question. What am I? Draconian.
Well, but
What's our culture on our planet?
are you guys like that with your draconian women?
Mostly, yeah. That's our system.
So do you respect them?
Yeah, of course. They're our queens.
Okay. So how does a queen interact with her king?
We're as equals, but we have both roles to play.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I just
See, your perception of reading that is like I'm trying to demonize women. We're all equal. I respect women. I love women. I just we're just draconian. Like draconian men are warriors. Women are caregivers. They care for the family. They glue the family, and they also do the childbirth and all that stuff. They're the love of it. Men provide, and they are to fight all the battles. That's you. We have our roles to play.
Okay. So you have expectations.
Of course, right. Yes. You have expectations of me. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, I guess with all relationships, obviously all healthy relationships, as long as those expectations are, on the table and everybody knows, so there's not any like
beside every great man is a queen. We're all equal, but we have roles to play. I base it on genetics too. Like women genetically are wired to give birth to kids, to care for kids, to nurse them, to treat them love and give them a life. Men are out there to hunt, fuck, and fucking provide and protect. That's what a man does in all
Okay.
species, right? So when a woman is trying to be too much like a man, or like a woman, or a man is trying to be too much like a woman, I'm draconian. I fucking get weirded out. I'm like, what the fuck are you staying home feeding the kid, baby, while your wife's out of work? Like, it's like, I know it's different times,
Yeah.
but like, we all have a role where you're a female
Okay.
energy. I'm a male energy, right? I will
Okay.
be a man. I will treat you like my queen, but you're gonna treat me like I'm your king. Both
Okay.
ways.
Okay. And I want to address one other thing as well. So I like that. So you're very into your gender roles. This is good.
Oh yeah, I'm very
Um,
Eastern European. So.
okay. Um, my culture, I heard you also say this about your culture as well, is that you believe in soulmate to the very end. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Loyalty, one partner,
Yes.
monogamy, 100%?
Yes. Now I do.
Okay.
My old self didn't believe that. No.
Your old self, but you do now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's
It
a
might be your
respect.
higher.
It was a respect thing. Like my old self. I'll be honest. My old self was like, a man can do what he wants. He doesn't have to suffer his consequences, his actions. Blah. He can sleep with who he wants. Blah blah. But then karma would always beat the shit out of me, spank me, fucking fuck me up. So now, like when I evolved again, where I'm like, if I need to treat others the way I want to be treated. I can't walk into a relationship with a friendship or a relationship with another female and expect that I can do whatever I want and get away with it with no consequences of my actions, because I know I always get to be put in my place. Karma always puts me in my place. So now I've changed my energy to where I'm going to walk into a relationship. She's going to be my queen and I'm going to be her king. But if you ever betray me once, you're done.
You
Like,
sound like
don't lie to
Ariana.
me. Yeah,
Ariana
don't lie to
Grande.
me. Yeah, don't lie to me if you're going to cheat on me, if you're going to flirt, if you're going to go talk to your ex-boyfriend. You don't want to ever, once you are not loyal to a Draco, they will destroy you. Like
Okay,
once.
that's good
Yeah.
to know.
No, it is. It is.
Uh,
That's why it's impossible for me to date humans. Because say I date a girl, and she, oh, I was talking to my ex. I'm like, I'm your fucking boyfriend. I'm the only man in your life besides your father. But like, why would you betray me like that? You know what I mean? Like, I hate
yeah,
betrayal. I'd rather you be honest with me. That's why a lot of women I meet, they're secretly obsessed with their ex-boyfriend. Like, it's just it's so weird because like I'm giving you all my loyalty, all my love day one, and that's who I am. There's no
yeah,
build up to it. It's day one. We're dating. You have full loyalty, everything, and people are like,
yeah,
oh, I don't, and then it's hard to trust you. And
yeah,
I can always tell. Like, I'm empathic. I have a human being, friend or work colleague or whatever it is, lying straight to my face, and I know they're lying, and I have proof, and they will fucking lie till they die. Like they will
yeah.
never admit it, and it just annoys me. I'm like, don't lie to me. I fucking know you're lying to me. I
I
always,
know. Lie
it
till they
drives me
die.
mental.
That's called gaslighting. That's like gaslighting. It's
Yeah,
awful.
and it's just, and it's just annoying. So it's just like I gave up. I will never date another human again. It's like I love so strong, so intense that that's what I want back, right? But I know a human can never do it. I know a human can never give me back. So that's why if I was dating a human, I'm very reserved, very held back. I have a fucking shield in between me and them, so I don't get hurt, and I expect the worst out of them, and if they don't do it, then I'm surprised. But I can predict a human based on their personality and their energy that's around them to almost 99.9% accuracy what they're going to do and how
Yeah,
they're going to behave,
I believe
right?
that.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're so predictable, so easy. I can sit there and I can tell a human exactly how their life path is going to be just by feeling their energy. And then like a couple months later, like, how the fuck did you know that? I'm like, because you're so predictable. You guys are like, energy is released everywhere, all over the world. I can walk in there as an empath. It's like an empath walking into Walmart with a spacesuit on because he doesn't want to feel all your energies, right?
I know.
Yeah,
I
and
have
it's
to
just
run
like
away from people. I
yeah, I
walk
can
into
like sit.
Walmart and people like follow me around the corner, and I'm like, oh, get
Yeah,
away.
and my it's like, and then it gets me so angry that my draconian side comes out and I snap on the person. I'm like, fucking control your emotions, control your energy. Stop projecting that energy at me because it's disgusting. And they're like so confused, like, what are you talking about? Like energy. I'm like, then I get irritated with just how low dimensional thinking they are. I'm just like, gross. Like, why am I even speaking to
You
this
sound
human?
just like me. You sound
Yeah,
just like me.
and then I say
Oh my
offensive
god.
things. My Draco set comes out, and I'll say something like, "Why am I even talking to this human slave? Like, you're disgusting." And I'm like, whoa, 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 stop that. Don't say that. Because they'll find that I'm like, what do you mean human slave? I'm not a slave. I have freedom. I'm like, you have no idea what you live in,
I
right?
need to put it together a campaign for humans, like specifically for humans, so that we can learn to love them
But let's go a
and help
positive
them
direction
evolve.
here, because I don't want people to hate on me. I have met a
Yeah,
lot of humans that have the best, most calming energy I've ever met in my life. I have
yeah,
sat down with human beings and I'm like sitting there just feeling them, and they have no idea I'm feeling their energy. And they're so calming. My heart rate gets super low, like a good way. I'm super calm with them, and I'm having a good, intelligent conversation because they're controlling their energy and they're not projecting their negative and hate towards me. And I'm
yeah,
like, and then most of my comments on a first date be like, you know what? Thanks for your positive energy today. It was so nice to talk to someone that was calm and intelligent, like having an intelligent conversation without emotional rage to it. And like, oh, thank you. I didn't know I had calming energy. I'm like, you have very calming energy. Like, it's very
yeah,
attractive. Thank you.
yeah.
And it's like, and then humans would be like, you don't talk like most guys. You're so weird. Like, you're like, you talk like you're not from this world. Like, you're totally different. I'm like, I'm not. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not
Here's
from
one
here.
thing. Here's one thing I really want to. How much time do we have left, Yakarta?
We got 20 minutes.
20 minutes? Okay. Here's one thing I really, really want to hit on while we're talking about this, because Earth, this is what I believe the purpose of Earth is. Earth is to actually help starseeds incarnate as humans in human bodies. And we come from all over the place. We come from Orion, the Draconian system, the Pleiades, the Sirian system, the Arcturians, the Lyrans. Like they're so many different races are out there. And so when you open up your third eye, you can actually look at someone with a human body and you can see their spirit and where they came from.
I agree. Yep.
Yeah. So we all came here actually to heal our generational lines. Like for you, Yakarta, you're in a human, you're in a body right now. Okay. Whether it's human or draconian, whatever that is.
This bitch is human.
Yeah, you have the ability to feel human emotions. And so this is where intelligence comes from. And this is where you connect to God himself, or source energy. You know, it's not no God, whatever.
Let's not use the G word on this case, because I'm trying to
Okay.
get rid of the G word. Let's use source energy, because that's
Source energy.
what we need to change it to. Yeah.
That's what I call it. I'm just used to using the word God
I know
because
we're
I live with
speaking
the
human.
person.
I understand what speaking
Yeah.
human is, but we're
Yeah.
also here to like re-educate the population, because there's no
Yeah.
such thing as God. There's no such thing as the devil. It's just the good and bad of energy within, of how you choose to act. That's all
Okay.
it is,
Okay,
right? So,
perfect.
because
Yeah.
when people hear the word God, they're like, "Oh, some guy sitting on a cloud judging us. See if we can go to,
Yeah.
be a servant in heaven." I'm like, I'm not gonna be no fucking servant to anyone, right? Like, I'm
Yeah.
service to myself and service to others by free will choice. Right.
Yes.
So when
Yes.
people say God, they're like, oh, Jesus is watching us. Judgment's coming. We're all going to get spanked. I'm like, oh God.
We're all
Like,
gonna get spanked.
I'm
No,
like,
I
please, I hope he
know.
has a big fucking wooden spoon.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, it's true. So mainly my point is that we just all incarnate here in human bodies, and when we awaken, we remember where we're from. And are we
A lot of
humans or are
starseeds
we
don't,
Sirian?
though. A lot of starseeds don't remember
I
that far. Like
know.
what you and me are right now talking like this, where we remember things. We're like 2% of the population of starseeds have memories. A lot of starseeds that I know, like 95% of them or 98% of them, they have no idea where they're from. They just know they're from somewhere else. They
Yeah,
just know their difference. And to back up what you said about this Earth incarnation is a healing process. There's actually a Tiesto song that I will send to you where it opens up. It says this Earth virtual reality is a healing process for the soul. Don't worry and hang in there. And
yeah,
then it starts hitting these really positive fucking beats. Because I know the universe itself is a training facility for the soul of learning, right? And certain
yeah.
planets for healing and growing. And this
Right.
planet, I've been working on a lot of healing with past life trauma of loved ones betraying me. Not my biggest problem is me not opening up to my human family and being distant. Like it, I finally talked to my dad after 33 years in such a loving way yesterday, and it felt so good to embrace that, because I always got, I don't know, I get awkward, I get shy. Like my mom tells me I love her, I'm like, I have to say it over a text, I can't do it in person. And
Yeah,
it's weird. And like, and then my life guides have been telling me that one of my main reasons why I didn't ascend in my past life is because I'm not engaging in a loving way, because I feel nervous or shy that I'm scared of being accepted. Like
Yeah.
I feel like that's why my name's the Lonely Drago, because I feel alone. I don't feel like anyone loves me. There's 8 billion souls out there and on this planet, and not one wants to, build a family with me. Like, I think it's fucking stupid, such stupid statistics. But I know that's me thinking wrong. That's completely wrong thinking,
Um,
and that's why it's not coming to me. Is because I need to project positive and loving energy.
you have a lot of emotional intelligence. Like you said something where you're afraid of being accepted. And I understand exactly what that feels like. I really do. I completely
That
understand.
is actually what
Hey,
this channel is built on, is that
yeah.
subject. I have so many
Yay.
friends like you,
Okay.
but are scared to come on this show because they're like, I'm so worried about being accepted. I have to build up confidence to come here. I'm like, because they're so scared of family and friends or bosses seeing this show.
Yeah. For me, I'm just at a point to where I'm too tired. I can't hold it in anymore. Like I can't
Yeah.
hold in who I am. I have to express it or I'm going to go crazy. So
I'm the same way. It's like a ball of energy in my chest. I feel like I'm gonna have a fucking heart attack, or I'm gonna blow up like a battery being overcharged. I need to like explode it.
Ex- Exactly. Hey, I want to hit back on the point where you say there is no God, there is no devil. So God obviously is source energy, where that's who we're going to call. I want to make a really important pinpoint though when it comes to denying the devil or Satan or whatever it is. What the devil and what Satan is he's an energy, a very low frequency evil energy, using the intelligence of man, using light against them, all that kind of stuff. And so there is a being, it's called a tulpa, and humans that believe in it actually invest their energy into that tulpa, and it can become a live interdimensional being. So the reason why I'm hitting on that is because the LDS religion, the Mormon religion, says that anybody that denies the devil is essentially of the devil. So I could literally see my family watching this interview and being like, they're denying the devil, turn it off, and that, and completely like throw the baby out with the bathwater. And so I just want to point on that. There's interdimensional things that are happening, energies that are being created that create the storyline that they believe in, which is, whatever Mormon or LDS timeline it is that they're in. Okay. So it is there, and existence is there. Things exist because people create them. They make them exist. So our
Yeah,
bodies do
whatever
that.
whatever we manifest is what comes
Yes.
to us. Like, that's the law of attraction that even the Egyptians knew, and that's the secret of the universe.
Yeah.
Whatever you project in your mind is what the universe attracts towards you. So if you're always negative thinking, you're always gonna have negative outcomes. If you're positive thinking, you're gonna eventually have positive outcomes. And a lot of humans need to learn this. I'll teach you this. Is some humans will contemplate. I've been thinking positive for 2 weeks and nothing positive's happened. I'm like, because it's coming. You're still what's coming towards you is what you thought of a month ago. Like, the universe works, but doesn't work as fast as you want it, and it will come. So if I thought about bad things 4 weeks from now, 5 weeks from now, bad things are going to happen because that's what's coming towards you. But if I'm thinking positive, those bad thoughts are going to come happen first, and then positive is going to come after. Or sometimes if it's such a positive, loving thought, that positive can destroy the negative that's coming towards you. And that's what
Yeah.
the Buddhist monks meditate on, is they're completely positive for 14 years straight without one negative thought in their mind. After 14 years, they shed their body and they become light energy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's if anyone wants to ascend here, that's why Buddhist monks build temples on mountains or in bumfuck nowhere. So they're around no bad energy, they're around no distraction, they're around nothing. They're just around serenity and nature and peace, and they'll have no influence of any negatives.
Yeah. That's what I'm working towards. I'm really trying to just wake people up and help them recognize and realize what reality we actually live in, see the big picture and move towards something positive, embrace your darkness, embrace your light, harness your own darkness, harness your own evilness,
Yeah.
there's an aspect of ourselves that has the potential to be extremely dark, but we need to be able to trust ourselves and trust our beings that we can control that, with the help of others. But ultimately, we are in charge of ourselves. We are in charge and should be responsible for our own darkness and our own light. And we are
Yeah.
each responsible for healing, for going through our traumas. That's why we're here on planet Earth, is we're here to heal our generational lines.
And I love how you said embrace your evil and embrace your light, because from my personal experience, my evil side or my dark side has gone through me some fucking dark times, and without that side of me, I would never made it. And then my light, it's like the gray Jedi. You need to have
Yes.
balance of evil and light within yourself, because you need to be able to use it, and because you can use darkness against darkness and you can use light against light, or you can vice versa, the mixture of it. And if you're just a light energy all the time, darkness can consume. But if you have darkness within, you understand it and know what it's capable of, and you know how to defend yourself against. So just use it,
Yeah.
embrace it.
Darkness is power. It really is power. And a lot of people are afraid of their own power. But I'm just going to say, you know what? It's who you are. You need to take responsibility for it. God's not going to come down and excuse you and forgive you. You need to forgive yourself.
Yeah, that's a lot of aliens took me off planet. They would sit me down at a freaking room and they would just talk to me in my head. And they'd be like, you need to start being yourself, but you are petrified of your own power. You're only scared of yourself. You're not scared of anything else but yourself.
Yeah.
And I was like, why would I be scared of myself? Like, because you're so fucking powerful that you are so scared. And you are the type of person that if you start leading, people will follow. And you need to embrace that and accept it, because I have this energy, even in the world and in business, that people just want to work with me and are attracted to me right away, and just like look up to me for answers. And I get shy and a little embarrassed, because I'm like, public speaking is one of my hardest things. And
Yeah.
and it's just, I don't know, it's just like, so a lot of the aliens, like, you need to start being yourself and start using your powers for good, because you can do a
Yeah.
lot of good damage here.
Hey, okay. Can I also want to talk about something else as well. So you were able to talk about your draconian culture in your life, you know, when it comes to monogamy and, you know, true love, loyalty, no, you just like betrayal, you know, you're all about the loyalty. My culture, so this is where I originated as a Pleiadian. Okay. So what we do is we are more about mastering our souls, if that makes any sense. So we do that by having multiple partners. We don't ever lock each other into a monogamous relationship. What we do is we lock each other into a mutually beneficial, evolving relationship. And we make commitments to each other. But here's the thing. Once both have learned everything they can from the other, we have the freedom to be able to drift apart and to go find another partner where we can learn from. And so we have multiple partners. We get judged really harshly here on planet Earth for being whores or hoes, or, you know, you're a slut or whatever the hell that shit is about. I have no respect for that fucking shit. Anybody that calls me a whore or a slut because of my culture and my lifestyle and where I came from can go stick a dildo up their ass. Like, that sounds really bad, but there's
I
been a
used to
grid
be like
line.
you. I used to be like you, where I was in polyamorous relationships,
Well, it's
and
not polyamorous.
no,
This
I'm
is the
just saying, like, I was
thing.
with multiple partners,
Yeah.
and I loved it, and I could do it, but it drove my spouse nuts, and I just, maybe I was just dating the wrong person, because like, I know being with one person sexually the rest of your life is pretty much nearly impossible, and if you
Well,
expect that.
here's the thing though, is that it is possible. You can find someone that you can monogamously be with for probably eternity, you know, if people want to believe in that timeline, that you can grow with extensively and exclusively together. So I'm not against that at all. You know, I completely agree with that. And
It's whatever you want, right? Yeah, like
yeah,
I've never tried the one man, one woman thing. I never have, and I'm willing to try it with my next partner that I'm going to have kids with,
right.
and I have to treat her the way I want to treat it. But I've been
Yeah.
in some great relationships where we had your exact views, where we're like, we sat down date one, and we're like, we don't want to be with each other just sexually, but we're together emotionally, and we're gonna have sex with multiple partners because we want freedom of doing what we want. And that was actually one of the funnest relationships I ever had. But I handle it just fine. But eventually, the woman I was with, she couldn't fucking handle it. Eventually, she's got so insecure with herself.
Yeah, because yeah, and that's, a lot of people are wired like that. Humans are wired like that. So a lot of people are wired for monogamy. For me, if I'm super in love with somebody and I love you, yeah, I need monogamy. So, you know, I'll be straight up there, you know.
No, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I want. My next relationship, my last relationships were so dysfunctional and just all over the map, breakups and cheating and lying or whatever the fuck it is. And my next relationship, I'm looking
Yeah.
for the queen that I want to be with by free will choice, not forced to be in a prison like most people are.
Yeah, it's the lying and it's the non-authenticity. I mean, if people are cheating on each other, okay, you guys just need to tell each other that you're cheating on each other and still
Yeah,
decide that you want to stay together and
like
just have fun. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine.
Most humans, I'm a watcher, right? And I see a lot of married people. I'm not going to say anyone's names, but there's a lot of married people that I know. And then I'm like, they're cheating, they're lying. Boys' night is picking up girls. Girls' night in Vegas is fucking dudes. And like, they're all lying to each other. And they're like, and they sit me down. You need to find a relationship like us. We're so in love. We don't share each other. And then I'm smiling in my head. I'm like, I know what your husband does when you're not at home, and I know what the fuck you do when you're out of town. So
I
like,
see that too. I
yeah,
see it all the time.
so like me, like I'm scared. I'm like, I don't ever, I for the longest time, I'm like, I don't ever want to get married to a human because I don't want to live a lie. And all these people, all these wives and husbands are like, oh, my wife is so good. She never fucking does anything. I know wives that are secret escorts that say to their husbands that they work at some law firm, but they're working at some fucking store and getting counted by dudes for money every day. And you're married to this person. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, I don't want to live that lifetime. I don't want, that's what gives me such anxiety when I date a human. I'm like, are you secretly an escort? Are you giving massages for money and jerking off dudes? Like, are you fucking your ex-boyfriend? Like, as I'm seeing all of this and I'm feeling their energy, and 90% of the time I'm fucking right. And so people, like, when I see human marriages, I'm like, 90% of all human marriages in this lifetime are all based on lies and
Yeah. You know
deceit. Who
what?
can lie better?
This is how I see them. You are so goddamn fucking unevolved. You
Yeah.
can't talk to your husband and your partner about what you're doing. You know, grow the hell up. You're causing more pain. Your karmic shit is building up on the side.
Oh yeah, exactly. So that's why I learned to be honest. Like with any girl I was dating, date one, I'm like, I'm so and so. I'm gonna sleep with other people. I want you to know that, but I always love you. I want you to know who I am, and if you can accept me for me, then we can date. And they're like, oh wow, you're really honest. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be like every other guy and lie to you. I'm cheating, I'm banging other girls. And they're like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll date you. And then they can't handle it. They have 6 months later, like, can we just do monogamy? Let's just be one on one. I'm just like, I told you who the fuck I was day one. Why would you date me for 6 months and get me emotionally invested in
Yeah.
you if you're
Yeah.
expecting me to change? I'm not going to change because I'm sick and tired of lying. I don't want to be those guys that lies to their woman about who they are, because all these guys have to lie just to get married and have kids, because most of these guys work Saturdays because they're with their mistress, or they're going to strip clubs because they don't want to go home to their fat wife that didn't lose the baby fat, right? Like, it's crazy. And vice versa. It goes for guys too, right? It happens both ways, right? Like,
Yeah.
and then you have to live these lies or give your spouse hall passes, or you go nuts about what they're doing. And just like, it's a tornado of craziness and hell. I'm just like, I do not want that. I'd rather just be single than ever experience that in a lifetime.
Agreed. Completely agreed. And you know, the hard thing about it is that we live in a culture and a society that either you're monogamous or you're not. It's like there's so much that's up in the air. And you know, in religious families, they don't believe in that kind of freedom. You don't have that kind of
Monogamy is
freedom.
a religious thing, I believe. That's my personal
It
opinion.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when people are like, "Oh, I'm marrying my husband and he just got to sleep with me," I'm like, "Are you religious?" They're like, "No." I'm like, "Well, that's pretty much like a Catholic thing. One man, one woman.
Yeah.
Most religions you can sleep with as many people as you want, or have many wives as want if you want, right?" So, and they're like, what? So like, male genetics, or like, what's the most common thing men have or male species have in all this whole planet? They hunt and fuck. So when a woman's like, I'm married to a husband, this is what I get really mad about. Say they're married 10 fucking 15 years and the husband cheats once. He finds out, she takes him to the cleaners, divorce him, expects alimony, child support, can't see the fucking kid, and he's got to work for a slave the rest of his life. I'm like, a guy just walked into a trap that he has to cheat once and he loses everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm
I
just,
haven't. Wow. That's a
yeah,
dark
that's what
perspective.
scares me about fucking humans. I'm just like, your guy is forced to live in prison. But then again, he should have been honest with her day one too.
Well, you've been burned, man. You've been burned by humans. Like I can
Oh, I've
tell, like
been
left and
crucified a few
right,
times.
man.
Yeah, yeah.
Jeez, me too. And it's so hard not to get bitter. Isn't it so hard not to get so angry? You know?
I'm like at the point in my life where I'm so picky that like I have to meet someone for coffee first. I can tell within the first 5 minutes
Oh yeah.
if I'm gonna date that person, or if they are even up to my standards of dating. And I'm gonna have standards and boundaries for once in my life. Because when after my last relationship, I was taking to my body and some fucking starseed was talking to my head. She's like, you Carta, you need to have boundaries in your life and relationships, especially relationships with women, and you need to actually get to know someone before dating them, because you're gonna keep repeating the same mistake with the women you choose. I'm like, that's very true. I need to learn that.
That's only true if you're not evolving your frequency.
Well, I'm
That's the
evolving
only.
now, so my
Yeah.
frequency is a lot changing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally,
So
after
you're
33
good.
years, I'm a slow learner, but I get it.
Only
Anyways,
slow in some areas.
we're coming up in an hour and a half here.
Oh, I thought it was just an hour. Okay.
Yeah, no, we went hour and 28 minutes.
Well, I think we covered everything we needed to, so this was so fun.
Yeah, it was nice actually talking to know you. You and me could talk for days about this stuff.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
do our credentials so people know where to find us. Okay,
Okay,
so
go
I'm
ahead.
on I'm on Facebook as Shakti Nordic. It's Sam Hotel Alpha Kite Taylor Hotel Igloo. Okay, Shakti with and then Nordic Nordic. I do have my own group. It's called Reptilian Secrets. It's mainly just to expose the elitists and the Illuminatis and pedophilia rings, but it also to learn all about dragons and Earth and reptilians. And Yukart has been awesome. He's amazing. I found him from an interview that I saw. He was interviewing with Super Soldier, and I heard his draconian storyline, and it just blew me away. And so he's been super fun to talk with and be with, and that's me. So I'm done.
What you can also do is on the comment section is post your links to your groups on there and your
Okay.
contact information if you want to do that.
All right.
So
We'll do.
it was very nice to get to know you. You're very intelligent, very smart, very advanced starseed, and it's very nice. It was very refreshing to have an intelligent conversation. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well, it's
All
been
right.
good. It's been real. Have a good week, guys, and we'll be back. So.
Sounds good. Love and light. See you later.
All right. Bye. Love and light.